please excuse my nails and excuse everything is just, we're not back on track yet. Oh guys, what to say, the first poo, oh my god, the first poo that you do after giving birth is out of this world. I'm starting to like, my edges are starting to go a bit, and it's a bit scary because I need my edges. Get some breast pad and cover it, because when you go outside it is a different story. It's a leakage, like you leak, like people will be like, sis, and now you'll be like, oh. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, I'm a queen, you know what it do. So in today's video we're going to be speaking about childbirth and the things that occur after you give birth that you probably are going to be surprised about. You're probably going to be like, oh my gosh, seriously, why, how come? But yeah, let's get into the video. So I'm just going to be speaking about my experience in both my pregnancies, as in what happened after I gave birth, because I had a natural birth the first time and then I had an emergency C-section the second time. So I'm just going to be speaking about things that happened in both of them. The first thing that happens in both pregnancies that I got was bleeding. Like you bleed after, like for, I think it's, you know, it's on and off, like it's heavy and then it goes, and then it, do you know what I mean? It's heavy and then it goes and it comes, and then you think it's a period, but it's not. It's just light blood, but you bleed after. It shouldn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Please excuse my nails and excuse everything is just, we're not back on track yet. We're still getting there. But yeah, bleeding was, I bled, I think, I can't remember how many, was it a week or two? I think I bled for a week or two, but it was not painful, and that is completely normal. If it does become really painful, then you should go and see a doctor, because that just, yeah, something is not right if it's really painful. And like you do get a little bit of clots, but it should be completely not painful. Maybe mild cramps. I got mild cramps, but like they weren't like, ow, they weren't period pains. But then again, it depends on the person, because my period pains are not, my period pains compared to other people are like excruciatingly pain. Like it's very painful. So I got like mild cramps, I got bleeding, a little bit of clots, but it does disappear. If it does not disappear after like more than a month, you really need to get that checked out. That's something that you should definitely get checked out. Also, another thing that happened was like your breast becomes so aching, like it's just becomes so achy. It's breast not being produced, so it becomes heavy and it's uncomfortable. But what I would say, that if you are breastfeeding, pump, or just give it to your child as soon as you can, or pump if it's really painful, because it becomes painful if you do not express it. And if you're not breastfeeding, then just let it dry up and it will just dry up by itself. I think Zayn was nearly 3 months and I'm still mixed feeding, so it does hurt sometimes, and you leak. The leaking, it's a lot. You do tend to leak. Like if you've just finished breastfeeding, or you're, and it's so strange. If you just finished breastfeeding and you just want to wipe it up, get some breast pads and wipe it up. Else when you go outside, get some breast pad and cover it, because when you go outside it is a different story. It's a leakage, like you leak, like people will be like, sis, and now you'll be like, oh, like it's like that. Like my neck just got it's even darker than it was last time. It just gets really dark, and there's people always tell me and mention it, and I know there's literally nothing I can do about it, and I will never bleach, so it's just gonna be like that. The most I can do is maybe cover it with makeup. I don't know why it is like that, but that's something that happened to you. My skin is just like, apart from this, everything else should be the same color. It is kind of the same color. Another thing that happened to me was that in the first one, for me personally, in the first one, the healing process was quicker, because I just started walking probably the next day. But in this one, because I had the C-section, the walking was, it was hard to walk, and it was hard to bend, because obviously I got cut here and there's stitches, so it was hard to like bend and pick him up. I had to have help from my partner and my mum in regards to picking up stuff, to help picking him up. It was, the first few days was hard, because like you literally can't bend properly. Also, you have to make sure that you don't get soap on it, and that you pat it after you have a bath, and that you make sure it's dry, or else you're going to get infection and it will hurt very much. Oh, guys, what to say, the first poo, oh my god, the first poo that you do after giving birth is out of this world. It's so painful. I don't know if it's because your heart is so painful. Like I cried, like it's so painful to poo the first time. And also when you wee, you'll see a bit of blood, but it's normal, it's completely normal. But the poo, it is painful, I won't lie. That one was painful. The healing process in both of them wasn't as painful. The first one was more painful than the second one. I don't know how to explain it. Even though I had a C-section in this one, the first one, I don't know, I think it's because it was natural and I wasn't on anything, so maybe that's why it was more painful. I think my body after was, the first time was, my body was in shock, and after it was like, whoa, like what just happened. This one, the pain came, but it wasn't as painful. It was only painful when I bend, if that makes sense. So it wasn't like excruciating pain. And also it's like, another thing that happens is that you get like a smell. I don't know if it's discharge, like a smell, it's like a funky smell, like, but like it should go after a few days. I can't explain it. It's like a weird smell. It's kind of similar to pregnancy. Another thing that happened to me is in the first one, I had very, very severe postpartum depression. That I've realized now, I had like serious depression. Like obviously the reason is obvious, but I had serious depression, and that's another thing that you're not really taught about, or no one really speaks about, because it's like taboo, especially in the Black community. But postpartum depression is normal. But don't let anyone make you feel like don't let anyone make you feel like you should just get over it. Giving birth to a human, it's exhausting alone. So then after looking after a human, even now, it's nearly 3 months and I've still not fully got the routine right. Like it's nearly 3 months and I've still not got like his routine. Like I'm still not 100%. So it's exhausting because you're awake mostly at night, like your body is just healing and you have to look after a child. It's exhausting. So it's completely understandable why women fall into depression. So I don't know why it's taboo. I don't know why people don't talk about it. But in this pregnancy, I don't know if I'm depressed. I don't think I'm depressed. I'm just exhausted. I don't know if that leads to depression, but I'm just exhausted. But I've got so much help. So I don't think I'm suffering from postpartum depression. But in the first one, I was, because I was just exhausted. Even though there wasn't a human to look after, I was just exhausted and tired. In this one, I'm also exhausted. At the beginning, I can't lie, at the beginning I think I was a bit depressed, because I was just tired. You have to wake up early as well. Like you're no longer you. Like you feel like your identity has been taken, and like everything is focus on your child. So like you have no time for yourself. Like there's times where the only time I'd be able to have a shower is night time, and it'll be a quick one because I have to check if he's okay. And it's a lot. So it's understandable if people fall into postpartum depression. There's people you can talk to. And there's another thing that I've done is I've downloaded an app called Peanut, where you speak to other mums, and like there's a forum where people express themselves. You also make new mum friends, and it's really great because obviously you have family and friends, but no one really understands more than other mums, if that makes sense. But obviously I have friends and family that have given birth, but I don't know, I don't know how to explain it. I personally feel like I feel more comfortable speaking to strangers because they can't judge me. Does that make sense? I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I downloaded an app called Peanut, and you can speak to mothers, and you can also meet up with mothers, join play groups. Another thing that happened after childbirth that I'm kind of already good at is that you have to learn how to multitask. Like you have to learn. Like you have no choice. Like you would just automatically know how to multitask, and you have to just be on job because your baby needs you. Do you understand? Another thing that happened to me is I'm starting to like, my edges are starting to go a bit, and it's a bit scary because I need my edges. So my edges are starting to go a bit. I think I've started putting castor oil in it and it's starting to reappear. But another thing is that I think I've seen, it's not like rare, you lose your edges, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's stress or exhaustion, but you do lose your edges. But I started to lose my edges, but I think they're coming back. I hope they're coming back because I need my edges. Do you know what I mean? That's literally all I can think about that happens after childbirth. If you have anything else that happened to you after childbirth, put it down below, because I really can't think of anything else that happened after childbirth apart from the pain, the bleeding, the exhaustion. You're just tired. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Love you guys.